All right, y'all, like, share, subscribe, Cash App, $ Winston Spivey. So I just thought I'd take a break here in place to talk about here. Man, it's going to be an explosive documentary that 50 Cent's putting out about Diddy. And man, this is really at a bad time where I think that Diddy calls himself, trying to get pardoned and things like that. I don't think he's going to do his entire time anyway. He's supposed to get out in May 2028. And I guess he's trying to do programs to where he can get some credit and things of that nature. But all this stuff, with 50 and Diddy, okay, because 50 is coming out with it, the rapper that is stuff that happened from way back in the day. And quite frankly, it's my understanding that Diddy stole his girlfriend or something like that, his kid's mom. So, a lot of this stuff has to do with females and stuff that went on way back 20, 30 years ago and all that good stuff. But, it's kind of like what happens, this Osiris ritual. You got to be careful how you treat others, because these things will turn around and come back on you. As you were able to see, nobody testified in Diddy's behalf at this trial. Nobody. Okay. I understand it's going to come out on Netflix tomorrow. Okay, December 1st is today, and it's going to be on Netflix for 4 days, 4-part series. Or 4-part series. I'm not going to say 4 days, but 4-part series. Okay? And they're going to have a lot to talk about. And I think this is something that Diddy did not want to come out, things like that, okay? Because everybody's going to be watching. The FBI, CIA, that kind of thing. And I think a lot of people are really going to be infuriated. This is on top of what you already know. That's if you're in the know, because I understood that 50 got a lot of footage and things like that a lot of people don't know about. Okay, with all the stuff that Diddy's done. Okay, and he did a interview today on one of, I believe is Good Morning America, one of those shows today. I want to watch that interview. But anyway, Derek Parker, I do know it's going to be those two guys. Derek Parker, he's the hip-hop police officer that arrested Diddy that night, for those GUN charges, okay, in that club with Shine and Jennifer Lopez allegedly involved, or Shine, Shine was the one that got the grunt of it, the rapper Shine, aspiring rapper back at that time. So, quite frankly, I think it was like an initiation. But nevertheless, Shine had to get the grunt of that. But he was the one that arrested Diddy, and Diddy was able to get off that. Johnny Cochran actually helped him get off that. Himself and Kirk Burrows. So I spoke on Kirk Burrows on here too. Kirk Burrows was the CEO at the time of Bad Boys from 1990, I believe 1991 or 93, something like that, 91 or 93, when Bad Boys started, up until like 1997 or 1998, so roughly like 6 years. Okay, and they're going to revisit his documentary, I'm not gonna say documentary, but it's a diary that he took. He took very meticulous notes of all the interactions and things like that, personal and professional, with Diddy. And again, I probably spent like 20 minutes talking about that. I don't really do really long videos like some of the other guys that got larger profiles or larger platforms do. But they basically talked about how he was screwed over. Excuse me for saying that. All right, business-wise, as well as, their relationship, about, I guess this guy was groped and mistreated and things like that, beat up. I know part of the interview of those notes talk about how that that thing with Biggie, okay, that often was set up, that kind of thing in LA, and how Diddy was able to get off or get away while the rest of the crew was stuck in LA and things of that nature. It spoke on Diddy, Diddy being jealous because actually Pac and Biggie were friends and that kind of thing. And then, that beef went on for a time, and, kind of off subject, but it was alleged that Biggie and Pac was going to get back together again and, start rapping again. And Diddy didn't want that to happen because Biggie was leaving the label. And I say that allegedly, okay? Why, Diddy, in his mind, he felt that Biggie had to go. Okay? So, they're going to talk about that, the parties and that kind of thing. And some of the things, once again, they're going to corroborate on some of the Diddy's behaviors at the party where, without getting too much in detail, being with men and women and that kind of stuff, okay? And some of the, I don't know if you feel the way, I don't know, maybe I'm a straight man, some of the grotesque stuff that happened with Diddy and, these guys and things like that, as well as women, okay? Particularly if they didn't want to participate in it, okay? So, but I understand that Diddy was heated. Man, I can't think of that lady. She's a woman. She's like a producer or director of the film. Okay, if you guys know that, let me know what her name is. But I understood that herself and 50 tried to get with or tried to reach out to Diddy a few times, and his team didn't want to respond and that kind of thing. I don't know what it was all about. Maybe to let them know if something could be worked out so they wouldn't have to come out with this documentary and that kind of thing. That's what I'm suspecting, okay? Or that's what I'm speculating, all right? And now Diddy wants to be pissed off now that, this documentary is coming out. But I understood that, Diddy was not, is not very, very keen to this at all. All right, so, man, I need to probably subscribe to Netflix just so I can watch this. It's going to be very, very interesting. But then again, if you've been keeping up with Diddy over the years, and you, particularly the time since he's got his house raided, well over a year and a half ago, the arrest and the trial and things like that. Oh, and by the way, there's supposed to be 2 jurors that's on, this documentary. I don't think they were supposed to even talk about this case. But hey, it's my understanding these 2 jurors are going to be on this in this documentary to talk about it. All right, we don't know all the people that's going to be on there, but it's more than likely going to be people that's going to be on there and things like that in the 90s, maybe the 2000s, things of that nature. All right, I include 50 Cent. So yeah. Anyway, December 2nd, tomorrow, is when the documentary will come out once again. Netflix. So let me know what you think about the video here. Maybe I'll do a video about 50 Cent and that interview that he did this morning. All right, I'll do a follow-up, I don't know, tonight or something. All right, just depending on what I feel like doing. I don't feel like doing a whole lot today. All right, once again, let me know what you think. And have a good evening. More content coming.